This is the Ring Doorbell 4 I installed a few years ago. I've connected the doorbell to a 15 volt AC power supply to recharge the battery and minimize the number of times I have to replace the battery with a fresh battery. The camera is a 1080p camera and the field of view is 160 degrees horizontal and 84 degrees vertical. Here I have the newer model Doorbell Plus. The field of view for this camera is 150 degrees horizontal and 150 degrees vertical. The resolution is 1536p, which I take to mean to be 1536 horizontal by 1536 vertical. Join me in this video as I remove the old Doorbell 4 and replace it with the new Doorbell Plus, and I will go through the unboxing of this new Doorbell Plus. I will go through the Ring phone application to set up this Doorbell Plus before I remove this Doorbell 4 and install this Doorbell Plus. This is the Ring battery Doorbell Plus, 1536p high definition head to toe view. There's a serial number and pin number for the doorbell, which I've just blocked out. This is the packaging for the doorbell itself. The top has a protective paper wrap. Pull the blue tab. Peel the sides off. That's the camera. The rear of the doorbell says voltage 8 to 24 volts, power 40 volt amps maximum, frequency can be DC or for AC it would be 50 Hz or 60 Hz. Warning, risk of electric shock, do not connect to AC mains power. Only official Ring DC supply should be used to power this device. Underneath this sticker are the two electrical contacts for low voltage AC connection. I've blocked the doorbell pin number with a black sticky tape. I've also blanked out the serial number. On the bottom there's a warning label. It says do not use the wrong screws. If the long screw is used, it would pierce through the battery inside. It needs to use this short screw. Pull the tab and that exposes the screw hole into the bottom of the battery. To open this front cover, lift the sides and there is the cover. Let's start setting up this doorbell on the Ring phone application by scanning the QR code on this box. The phone application starts up the setup a device module. By default, it's identified my home address and also given me an option to add a new location, but I will use my home address. Press continue. Ask me to give the Ring doorbell a name. I will customize it. Call it Front Doorbell Plus. Press continue. It cautions me to use the correct screw, which is the short security Torx screw and not any other screw, especially a long screw, because a long screw can pierce the bottom of the lithium battery and damage the battery or even cause a fire. Press OK. Tells me to locate the small security screw back in the box. I will say I have found the screws. Press continue. Tells me to charge and insert the battery. This is a battery that I have charged, so I'll press continue. It asks me to get my Wi-Fi password. I say I have my password. I'll press OK to enable Bluetooth on my Android device. Allow. I need to be near the device. Press OK. I'll insert the battery. The blue light is flashing. And now the light is spinning white. I'll click on light is spinning white.
Now connected to the Ring app.
It has identified my home Wi-Fi network. I'll select it.
Connecting to Wi-Fi. Just a moment.
Says my Ring doorbell is now set up and ready to
Now
protect.
installing an update. This may take several minutes.
I'll press continue. I will skip the tutorial and say I've already installed it. Ask me if I want to share the device, I'll skip that for now. Ask me if I want to link any devices, I'll skip that for now. Ask me if I want to connect a chime, I'll skip that for now. Ask me if I want to optimize motion, I will skip that for now. I'll skip review of the features. I'll skip mode settings. And I'm done. It shows the front doorbell plus is here. There is no picture image on it yet because it says it's installing an update. So we have to wait a few minutes for it to finish installing the update.
Setup successful.
It has completed installing update firmware, and that's why there's now a picture from the camera. If I click on this, if you look at the image, you see that it's a video of me and my action camera looking down at the doorbell plus. So that's good, it's working. Now I'll show the settings on the front doorbell plus. Click on the 3 blue dots on the top right of this image, and that gives me the settings. Click on the settings, and here we have the settings of the front doorbell plus. For modes, I can set up this doorbell plus for how I want it to be triggered in disarm, home and away configuration, and I can also set up shared user access. Go back. Device health shows me the health of the device, 98% battery level, Wi-Fi signal strength RSSI-60, and the lower the number, the stronger the signal. That's my Wi-Fi network SSID name. Status is online, so it's connected to the internet. The product is Battery Doorbell Plus. The MAC address, I can reboot this device remotely. Go backwards. For motion settings, I can edit the motion zone, but because I've not physically installed this doorbell to the front door porch, there's no point in my editing the zones. Click on motion sensitivity. I've changed it to maximum. Package sensitivity, I'll change it to maximum. Click save. Smart alerts. On detection of persons, it will record and send alerts. On detection of other motions, I've set it to record but not send alerts. On detection of packages, I've set it to record and send alerts. Back. Motion schedules, I have not set motion schedules. Advanced settings, motion frequency, by default it's set to regularly, but that's not good enough for me. I've set it to frequently. I suggest you watch a separate video I have about motion frequency and the risk of setting it to regularly and periodically, where it will certainly miss detection of motions. Back. That's it. Back. Power settings. Snapshot capture. I do not need snapshot capture, so I switch it off. Save. Motion frequency is on frequently. Recording length. Recording length by default is set to automatic, which is up to 30 seconds. I'll select manual and make it record for 90 seconds. Save. It's sending me alerts that there's someone at the front doorbell plus, and obviously it's detecting me standing in front of it. Backwards. These are the few simple changes I'll make at the moment, and that completes my setup of the front doorbell plus. As I mentioned, the existing doorbell I have installed at my front door is the Ring Doorbell 4. In this video, I'm introducing the battery doorbell plus and will be removing the doorbell 4 and installing the doorbell plus. There are 3 key differences between the old doorbell 4 versus the new doorbell plus. First, for doorbell 4, the camera resolution is 1080p and it has night vision. For doorbell plus, the camera resolution is 1536p high definition and there is 1536 horizontal by 1536 vertical, which provides a head-to-toe view that the doorbell 4 does not have. Also, doorbell plus has color night vision instead of just black and white night vision. The second difference is, for doorbell 4, the field of view is 160 degrees horizontal and 84 degrees vertical. For doorbell plus, the field of view is 150 degrees horizontal and 150 degrees vertical. For Wi-Fi, both doorbell 4 and doorbell plus use 802.11b/g/n Wi-Fi connection. The difference is doorbell 4 offers it at 2.4 GHz as well as 5 GHz, whereas doorbell plus only offers it at 2.4 GHz. But in my view, the lower frequency 2.4 GHz is better at penetrating walls compared to the higher frequency 5 GHz. So in my case, where I have placed my doorbell 4 and there's a steel security door screen, I've found that the 5 GHz is not reliable compared to the 2.4 GHz. So I have had to use the 2.4 GHz. So that's why for doorbell plus, using the 2.4 GHz is not a problem for me. And again, for the Wi-Fi, doorbell 4 requires a minimum of 2 megabits a second transmission rate from the doorbell back to the Wi-Fi router, whereas doorbell plus requires a slightly higher upload speed of 2.5 megabits per second from the doorbell back to the Wi-Fi router. I suspect that is because doorbell plus has a higher resolution camera compared to doorbell 4. Now, to remove this existing Ring doorbell 4, use the security top screwdriver to remove the screw from the bottom. Here we are, that's the screw. We remove the cover, push the tab on the battery, pull it down to remove the battery. Use a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver to remove the 1, 2, 3, 4 screws on the side. It is a short length screw. Fourth and last screw. Because this is the fourth and last screw to remove, I have to support the doorbell so it doesn't just fall off the mounting plate. Here we are. I have 2 wires connected to my existing old analog doorbell 15 volt AC power supply. I will unscrew these 2 terminals. That's the rear of the existing doorbell 4. Make sure that these 2 terminals do not touch each other because they are still 15 volt AC live. I will reuse these 2 terminals because I have joined them internally using ferro terminal crimps. So there's no point my changing these 2 cables. There is a copper pipe that I've used as a conduit for my 15 volt AC cable. I will change over this corner mounting bracket. There are 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4 with washers that I've installed myself. Remove these 4 screws. It is also Phillips head number 2 screwdriver. These are about 1 inch long screws that go into plastic wall plugs. As I said, keep these 2 terminals separate. These are the 4 plastic wall plugs in my brickwork. In my right hand is the existing doorbell 4 mounting plate. In my left hand is the new corner mounting plate for the doorbell plus. From the front view, they look identical in length and in width and in thickness. and the holes appear to have the same width and diameter. The rear construction looks the same. This is the new mounting screw supplied. If I insert it into the slot, you'll see that the width of the screw head is only slightly wider than the width of the slot, and to me that doesn't give it much holding strength. So for that reason, I will reuse the steel washers. The correct mounting position for this corner mounting plate is the smooth face faces inwards towards the wall, and the exposed face faces outwards. Since I want the camera to face this way, I'll put the thicker slant inwards. Ring only supplied 3 of the long screws, so I have to augment with 1 of the medium length screws. Align the slot with the plastic wall plug hole. Again, I say avoid accidentally contacting these 2 terminals. A better thing to do is to use electrical tape to tape 1 of the terminals, but I will be very careful. Before I add the doorbell to this mounting plate, I want to stress how important it is for me to have this 15 volt AC low voltage power supply. This is because I set the Ring doorbell motion frequency to frequently instead of the lower 2 frequencies, because the lower 2 frequencies will miss motion detection. In the video description below, I have a link to a video explaining the motion frequency timings involved and why I only use frequency set to frequently. And because of that, it does drain the battery, and especially over winter cold temperatures, the battery drains very fast. And even with it connected to this power supply, the recharge is slower sometimes in cold weather than the battery is draining itself. So if you can, connect your doorbell to a low voltage AC power supply. I think it's better than connecting it to Ring's accessory solar panel, because the power output of that solar panel is very weak. Now I need these short 4 screws to fix the doorbell to these 1, 2, 3, 4 screw holes. But before I do that, I'll connect these 2 terminals to these 2 terminals. It takes in AC power. There's no polarity sign on the terminal contacts. Unscrew them slightly. Slip the fork terminals in the screw and tighten. I make sure the terminals are away from each other. So that's the 2 terminals connected now. Get 1 of the 4 screws, place it on the bottom right, top left. Don't over tighten because it's metal thread into plastic body, so over tightening it will destroy the plastic thread. Bottom left, top right. Test to see that it's secure. It is secure. That's good. Put the fully charged battery in. It's starting up. Put the cover back. Use 1 of the 2 security top screws. On the bottom of the cover, which screws into a thread at the bottom of the lithium battery. Check that the cover is secure. It is secure. That's good. On my phone app, I go to the settings for the front doorbell plus. I turn on Ring alerts. I turn on motion detection, and I can go to live view, and I can see the doorbell camera. It's now looking at me as I wave. So that's good. Success. I enjoyed doing this simple replacement of the Doorbell 4 with the Doorbell Plus, and it gives me a higher resolution, gives me ability to see packages that are on the ground. I do hope you found this video useful and interesting. Do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more and help the channel grow. Thank you so much.